Hello, I am Professor Kalj, K-A-L-J, and today... Yes, you have a question?
Professor Kalj, I don't get the Trinity. Yeah, I don't understand
Well,
the Trinity.
today's question is, why can't we understand the Trinity? In one way, I can't answer that question. After all, if I could explain why we can't understand something, that would imply that we understand it. It's kind of like when you lose something and someone asks, where did you lose it? Well, if I knew where I'd lost it... But I digress. While the Trinity will remain beyond our comprehension, there are analogies that will help us to at least see why some things might simply be beyond our comprehension. Today, we will take an analogy from the multidimensional world. You and I live in 3 dimensions, if you don't include time. We call them length, width, and height. Basically, we can look left and right, we can look backward and forward, and we can look up and down. 3 dimensions. But let us suppose that we lived in a 2-dimensional world. A world where you could only look forward and backward, or left and right. But up and down was not available to you. You could not look up and down. We would live in a plane rather than a cube. Like being a drawing on a piece of paper instead of a sculpture. Now suppose that in our 2-dimensional world, a 3-dimensional figure tried to interact with us. The most we could possibly perceive is a slice of that figure which would provide us little information about that 3-dimensional figure, and we would still have no way of comprehending or talking about the 3rd dimension of the figure. Let me illustrate. Suppose you lived in a plane and along comes the letter A in 3 dimensions. Mr. A wants to be known to the people in the plane, so he comes into the plane. But what happens? We who live in the plane see only 2 squares. Not much to go on to understand the letter A. And as much as Mr. A tries to reveal himself to us, even if Mr. A laid face down so we could discern the shape of the A, we would still not be able to understand what Mr. A's 3-dimensional existence is like. This is analogous to the Trinity. To expect to understand the nature of God's triune existence is to expect him to be something less than he is. We know about God from creation, creativity, power, beauty, majesty. We know about God through Jesus, love, mercy, forgiveness, sacrifice, peace. But thinking that we can understand his nature is as impossible as the people on the plane thinking they can understand the 3-dimensional Mr. A. That is why we cannot and should not expect to understand the nature of God's existence as a triune God, as he has revealed himself to us in the Holy Scriptures. Until next time, have a good day. Bye-bye.